Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The world of the Real Housewives is no stranger to drama, but today's news has left fans reeling with heartbreak and disbelief. What once blossomed into a powerful friendship between two of the franchise's biggest stars, Kim Zolciak Biermann and Kyle Richards, has come to a devastating halt. The sisterly bond they once proudly shared, filled with laughs, vacations, and public support, has been shattered under the immense pressure of personal hardships, career struggles, and the cascade of misunderstandings. This is the very sad story of how two Bravo legends, once so close, now find themselves miles apart, emotionally and spiritually. The blossoming of a Bravo bond. Kim Zolciak, the larger-than-life blonde bombshell from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Kyle Richards, the heart of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, were an unlikely but powerful duo. Though they came from different coasts and different lives, their connection was instant. Their friendship began at a Bravo crossover event in 2015. Both were fierce, glamorous, family-oriented women navigating fame, motherhood, and the complex world of reality television. Over the years, Kim and Kyle made headlines not for their feuds, like many other housewives, but for their unexpected closeness. Fans adored watching them appear on each other's Instagram lives, share parenting tips, and gush about their friendship in interviews. Kyle even flew to Atlanta once to surprise Kim during a launch party for her skincare line, Cashmere. But what made them stand out even more was their behind-the-scenes support. Kyle often reached out during Kim's difficult pregnancy days. In return, Kim was Kyle's rock when her sister, Kim Richards, relapsed. It was more than a Bravo bond, it was a sisterhood. Cracks in the diamond. Yet fame and friendship rarely thrive under constant public scrutiny. The first sign of trouble came subtly. Fans noticed that Kim had unfollowed Kyle on Instagram earlier this year. No explanation, no public spat, just a quiet social media snub that sent speculation into overdrive. Kyle, ever the composed one, didn't address it directly, but when a fan asked to bring a Q&A, she merely responded with a cryptic, "Sometimes people grow apart." Around the same time, Kim Zolciak was going through one of the darkest chapters of her life, her ongoing divorce from Kroy Biermann. The once fairy-tale romance had turned into a headline-grabbing legal war, filled with accusations, financial strain, and emotional devastation. Kyle, meanwhile, was facing her own battles. Her separation from longtime husband Mauricio Umansky had just become public, and with it came whispers of infidelity, identity crisis, and a swirling storm of media attention. Two women, two painful public heartbreaks, and suddenly there was silence between them. The breaking point. A misunderstood message. Insiders close to both stars revealed what might have been the final breaking point. A misunderstood message and a missed call. As Kim's divorce dragged on, sources say she reached out to Kyle privately, hoping for some much-needed emotional support. Kyle, overwhelmed with her own family issues and in the middle of filming RHOVDH, didn't respond immediately. Kim, raw and vulnerable, felt abandoned. She felt like Kyle had ghosted her during the worst moment of her life. A close friend of Kim shared, she needed a shoulder, and instead she felt ignored. But Kyle's side of the story paints a different picture. According to a production assistant on RHOBH, Kyle had been dealing with multiple crises: her daughter's anxiety relapse, Mauricio's PR disaster, and Lisa Vanderpump publicly criticizing her again. In the chaos, Kim's message got buried. She wasn't ignoring Kim. She just didn't see the message until days later, and by then, Kim had already cut off contact. A public falling out. The real heartbreak came when Kim, in a raw moment of frustration, commented under a Bravo fan post, "Some people only care when the cameras are on. Lesson learned." The internet exploded. Though she didn't name names, everyone understood who the comment was aimed at. Kyle's response, on Watch What Happens Live, was equally vague yet telling. "I'm not perfect. I wish I could be everything for everyone, but sometimes it's just too much. That marked the end of an era. Bravo fans took to Twitter and Reddit, mourning the loss of a friendship that had once given them hope that genuine bonds could exist in the chaotic universe of Housewives. Hashtags like Fixit Kim and Kyle and Bravo Breakup trended for days. A silent feud amid loud lives. Despite the social media buzz, neither Kim nor Kyle made another public statement about each other, but their actions spoke louder. Kyle did not attend Brielle Bierman's birthday bash this year, despite being invited. Kim, in turn, was notably absent from Farrah Al-Jafri's engagement party, even though she'd once promised to help plan it. Sources say mutual friends like Dorit Kemsley and Sherry Whitfield have tried to mediate, but both women remain distant. They love each other deep down, one mutual friend claimed. But too much has happened. Hurt was felt on both sides, and neither is ready to fully forgive. Pain, growth, and the hope for healing. Today's very sad news isn't just about a friendship gone cold. It's about two women who are both suffering silently. Kim Zolciak, battling bankruptcy rumors, trying to co-parent with a man she's locked in legal war with, is desperately trying to protect her children and her dignity. Kyle Richards, publicly navigating a deeply personal transformation, is rethinking her marriage, her identity, and her future as a public figure. Friendship, especially under such weight, becomes fragile. And yet, despite the heartbreak, there's still hope. In a recent podcast episode of Housewives Confessionals, Kyle hinted at regrets. There are some friendships I've lost that I wish I could fix, but sometimes pride gets in the way. Kim, too, has shown signs of reflection. On her Instagram story last week, she shared a quote that read, "True friendships can bend, but not break." Fans are holding onto that thread of hope. The legacy of Kim and Kyle's bond. Whether or not reconciliation ever comes, one thing remains true. Kim and Kyle gave fans something real in a world filled with manufactured storylines. They laughed together, cried together, and stood by each other during some of life's biggest storms. Their friendship, even in its current silence, left a mark, and perhaps, as time heals and life slows down, they'll find their way back to each other. Until then, all we can do is mourn what once was, and hope for what could still be. Final words to Bravo fans, to those who followed every post, every sweet exchange, and every moment of joy between these two women. This story cuts deep. It reminds us that even in the glitz and glamour of reality TV, pain is real. Friendships falter. Misunderstandings grow. But it also reminds us that growth comes from sorrow. And maybe, just maybe, Kim Zolciak and Kyle Richards will show us all what true friendship means, not in perfection, but in the journey back to one another.